Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. It is September 6th of 2023. Jeez, we are... Jeez. 2-year anniversaries have happened on this channel. The year I started this channel back in June. Shogun with the 20 gifted memberships. Let's go! 07s. To the man who is wasted. 07. For I love you, no homo. All day, every day. Thank you so much, Shogun. Let's go.
Cheers, my
I'm
dude.
loving it.
Love ya.
I'm loving the love today. I'm loving the love. But even though we are streaming, we are going to talk about a pretty serious topic. I do want to say one thing before we get started. Gorillaz is single-handedly one of the best bands I've ever seen. Saw them in Toronto. Awesome show. I wish Snoop Dogg was there. They said he was in the city, and he didn't show up for the album Humans, and it annoyed the hell out of me. Anyways, let's just get it going. Let's get it started. Let's say hello to some people in chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yes, Chef is over there. He's been a dick all day today. I haven't been... dude, the minute I came home, he was a total asshole. Anyways, hello, Rinny. Hello, Nightmare. Hello, Weaver of Dreams. Hello, Weird Collar Guy. Hello, Shogun, Big Dick. John Bon Zombie. Hannah. Who else? Lou. Rita. Purple Paw Prince. Somebody. J.K. Offendison. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I'm an idiot. Voltage Mike. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. We're gonna be going over some pretty crazy stuff today. I'm not like this is something that like hits me home kind of on certain aspects because I've already covered a lot of people on my channel that are doxers, harassers, calls people's mothers, all that fun stuff, right? So there is this situation going on with a large YouTuber known as Vince Vintage. Now, Vince Vintage has been an established creator for a pretty long time. Friends with Mudahar, friends with a bunch of other content creators. He tends to do retrospective videos on, like, criminals, right? Kind of like playing some pretty tough... you're basically playing with fire with a lot of these people. But he handles it in a way that's pretty journalistic from the videos I've seen. I've never really watched him until recently with all the situations going on. But hey, stuff happens. We have to deal with it. And unfortunately, this guy is dealing with a huge situation that was an issue during the quantum stuff, where somebody is filing false DMCA claims. They're doxing, stalking him, trying to get his fiance to contact, all this stuff, right? It's one for one verbatim of the quantum shit, except the quantum stuff was entertaining because quantum was a total lol cow. That was an easy grab for everybody because it was a lol cow. This is different. This is an actual hacker that apparently hacked the Pentagon, the United States government, hacked PlayStation, hacked Xbox, and they got caught back in 2013. This dude was caught in 2013 and is now causing issues for creators of today. We are in 2023. It is an entire decade later. Multiple other news outlets have covered this. Other channels have covered this. Everyone and their mother that cares about like gaming related stuff has covered this or criminal related stuff. But this guy can't let it go. Can't let it go. So I want to go over a bit of the Kotaku article with you guys that was linked in the original video. So the actual plan that I have for this stream is that we're going to start off with the Kotaku article, break down certain parts of it. Then we're going to watch the original video that was threatened to be taken down or attempted to be taken down. Then we're going to talk about the video that Vince just uploaded a few days ago. So we're going to go through all of it, give full context, understand the position Vince is in, and maybe shit on a hacker. So let's get it going. Now, the article is titled The Incredible Rise and Fall of a Hacker Who Found the Secrets of the Next Xbox and PlayStation, Maybe More. That was years ago.
New donation.
Thank you for the
Shogun.
direct donation, Shogun. I need to pull that up. I forgot I don't have those pulled up. I'm a complete dumbass. We're gonna read that off. Shogun, Chris, why do I see Bud Light? I don't know. You might be drunk, bro. You might be drunk, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You're seeing Bud Light everywhere. It's everywhere. The Tippy Lights in chat. Also, those were 2 30-packs that we got from friends. Thank you for the 5, though, dude. I appreciate that. So, let's see here. Incredible. Let's see here. The first thing that ever puzzled me about the man I used to know as Sharp Day E was that he didn't sound Australian. I couldn't detect an accent. Super told me back then during our first long-distance call from New York to wherever he was down under that he got that a lot. He swore to me he was really Australian. So already starting off strong, that this individual has been lying about what country they even live in. Perfect. I don't like Australians. Mitch mostly. I don't like Mitch. Mitch from Now Recording. Don't dye your hair ever again. Anyways, he has that he got a lot. He swore to me he was really Australian. Over the next month, he would tell me many, many things that were hard to believe. I'd eventually be able to confirm half of it. I was left to wonder about the rest. He claimed to know about the next Xbox and PlayStation. Claimed to really have 2 prototype versions of the next Xbox. He said he had access to next-gen games. He had Homefront 2 and Sleeping Dogs 2. Realize how old this story is. That the next-gen games are Homefront 2, the most boring game ever, and then Sleeping Dogs 2, a mediocre game. Can we think about that? Think about how old this story is, where the next-gen games were Homefront and Sleeping Dogs. That he played Gears of War 3. I played that all the time when I was younger, bro. We are old as shit. Everyone in this chat is old as fuck. We are old. We are old. Get over it. A year before it came out, and then after he drunkenly told Epic about it, they sent him a poster. He could send me a photo if I wanted to see it. A month after we first talked, he convinced me he'd done many of the extraordinary things he said. I changed my impression of him from possibly being disgruntled anonymous game developer to being a hacker, a really good hacker. I'm more than that, he told me with a laugh during one of our many calls. I'm just an image. Our most recent phone call happened on Saturday, February 16th. We talked for 2 hours, me trying to confirm things he said before. He told me his wildest stories yet. I asked him if he expected to wind up in jail. Possibly, he said. At that moment, he sounded naive, possibly. I tried to be optimistic, he said, but yes. On Tuesday, February 19th, members of the Western Australian Computer Crimes Police Force raided the home of Super, a.k.a. Dan, a.k.a. Dylan. They had a warrant. Dylan was his real first name. He asked that his last name not be used, and said that they had an FBI agent with him. Realize what kind of person you're dealing with here. A man was caught by not only the cyber crimes unit in Australia. Think about that. Not only was he caught by the cyber crimes unit in Australia, this dude pissed off the FBI. They took his computers. They took piles of paper. They took a souvenir cup that was shaped like a penis. What? I didn't read that part.
Speaking of old, turned 41
Happy birthday,
today.
brother.
So yeah,
QTV, you have been a long member of this channel. Thank you
New donation from
so
Dustiest
much, dude,
Spade.
for watching as long as you have. I hope you and your loved ones I hope you have a wonderful day with your loved ones. Happy 41st, dude. We're all getting old, bro. We're all getting old. I'm gonna be 28 before I fucking know it. Let's see here. Why a penis? Why a penis? He says he took his phone and froze his assets. I lost everything, he told me, when I found him again on Twitter a couple of days later. He said his life was in ruins. Was what I did wrong, he asked me? Did I really deserve it? As all the sayings go, curiosity killed the cat. Super really does live in a suburb of Perth in Western Australia. He has declined to tell me how old he is and said he doesn't have a job. He blames chronic pain. Wow, that sounds like Daft Pina, bro. Oh, man, I did all these terrible crimes because my ribs were poking at my lungs all the time, so I was a total piece of shit. Bro, just own up to your shit. I never met him in person. The only image I've ever seen of him is the one atop this story, which he says is from an old driver's license photo. He says he travels a lot. Over the phone, he sounds young. And through our last conversation, before the cops came, carefree. I first heard of him of Super in the summer of 2012 when he seemed quite ridiculous. Quite ridiculously to be trying to sell a development kit for the next Xbox, codenamed Durango, on eBay. That's crazy. Selling shit on eBay. Selling the development kit of an Xbox. You're basically asking Microsoft to be knocking on your front door with the Gestapo. Technically, that did happen. Let's see here. It seems too brazen to be real, even after images appeared online of his supposed Durango with a piece of paper affixed to it. On the paper was a word, super. I have good sources in the games industry, so even though Microsoft refuses to comment on any Durango questions I ever asked them, my sources told me that, yes, the images were the real thing. Bruh. I want to get to the part where he hacked the United States government. Where's the part? Blizzard. I want to get to the part, can you order Durango online? I want to get to the part where he hacked the government, apparently. The raid. I want to get to that part. Okay, so we're basically at the end. So I want to see what happened at the raid. So he was arrested for selling Microsoft secrets and PlayStation secrets, IP addresses, mods, a bunch of stuff. It's actually a very fucking deranged situation. What's up, Gotham? Dylan back and forth with Microsoft was on the fall. The attempted Blizzard breach was in January. He sent me the Orbis and Durango documents around the same time and put Durango back up for sale on eBay. The sale has been closed. Dylan and I last spoke on the phone this past Saturday and then last Tuesday. Anything Dylan says he was doing, anything he thought he was getting away with, ended. The cops showed up, and they pretty much took everything. Was it related to our most recent, most detailed call? He would never tell me. Even tell me he thought it was just a coincidence. By this time, bear in mind, Dylan had his doubters. People who saw the eBay auctions or the tweets or even the stories were written about him. Stories in which, admittedly, we said he had possession of a Durango dev kits and were no longer so certain he did. Wondered if anything this guy claimed was true. Well, something was true. He gotten someone's attention because it's not likely the cops show up with a warrant. Yeah, no. The cops just... Okay, listen. Except for the time Nikola Tesla's stuff was taken when he passed away, when the FBI raided his house after he died. There was no warrant for that I am aware of. I don't know. Don't come for me. I don't need the men in black knocking on my door if I got that wrong, please. I'm begging you. FBI, leave me alone. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of the CIA and the FBI. I have nothing to hide. I just think you're all scary organizations. Let's see here. Something was true. He got someone's attention. Technology Crimes Investigation Unit is currently conducting a multi-level investigation into computer-related offenses. The Western Australian Police told Kotaku in a statement this week, a search warrant was conducted on Tuesday, 2013, in relation to the investigation, and items were seized. According to it, what's on my hard drives? A bunch of memes, thumbnails, and downloaded videos that I re-upload to Rumble. That's all you got. Let's see here. Which this one will be uploaded to Rumble. So make sure you follow me on Rumble as well. That is my last bastion of hope if YouTube somehow decides to take me down. Let's see here. The police showed up. Official warrant was supplied to me by Dylan. The police showed up at 7:10 a.m. and ended their search around 12:30 in the afternoon. The warrant was called for a search of his computers, gaming consoles, hard drives, and records related to Microsoft. Microsoft's partners, PayPal and eBay. eBay and PayPal, which are part of the same company, did not return requests to comment.
New donation from the FBI.
What does the FBI want from me? What do they want? Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on. Yeah, I have 6 new donations. Okay, first, I see Duelist Spade. Thanks for the distraction going through a bucket of bummers, my dad. I'm sorry, dude. My dad did some scummy shit, and me and my mom were looking for an apartment in a mobile home. My dad's gone. Oh. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry, Duelist Spade. Hopefully you and your mom find a place to live and things get a little bit better for you. The FBI... Wait. Thank you, FBI. You're in my walls. Leave me alone! Duelist Spade, I hope your life gets better, bro. I really do. I hope you and your mom find what you're looking for. Let's see here. Dylan told me that he was polite and helpful during the raid, but they didn't allow me a lawyer. That's probably the biggest right they took from me. That's a little scary. That's a little scary. He said that one of the cops told him he was a pretty boy who would most likely be someone's bitch in jail. Okay, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. There's no way the police... Okay, I wouldn't say... Okay, let me take that back. Saying no way is kind of a stretch because it's the police. And it's the Australian police. They're all a bunch of criminals down there, so of course the cops would talk like criminals. So, like, I'm not really shocked that one of the police officers may have said that, but this guy is also an embellisher. So, someone's bitch in jail. SRG, what's up, man? How you doing, Productions? The police didn't address these allegations with us, nor has anyone confirmed that the American who Dylan says was present was an FBI agent. Dylan says he was just told as much as the Australian police. American accent, he told me over Twitter. The other police told me he was FBI. Well, he was. Records of the raid list 6 pages worth of items seized by the police. Here's just a sampling. They took his phone. The police took his bank card, seized documents on a BlackBerry, a Visa, banking records, all confiscated shortly after the raid. Dylan hopped on Twitter, apparently from a nearby Apple store. I tried calling him
New
the next day
from
after
Shogun.
2 rings. His phone went to voicemail. All right, thank you for the direct dono, Shogun. What do we got now? I'm about to trauma dump, but I stepped on a Lego. Oh, bro. So sorry for that. I actually feel sorry for the Duelist Spade. Shogun stepping on a Lego. That's fucked. That's fucked. I actually feel bad for Duelist Spade. I hope you're doing okay, dude. Let's see here. Over Twitter privately, Dylan has seemed crushed, telling me a couple of days after the raid that he was pretty down. Flashbacks to the raid are frequent. Publicity on Twitter, he's become a little more animated and has been retweeting anyone who uses the hashtag #FreeSuper. I was treated like a criminal, he complained to me, looking back at the raid. It seemed to me that it didn't matter if he really didn't pirate or if he really didn't use any stolen credit card numbers. He said that he got access to companies' computers by using others' logins. That alone might seem pretty bad. That is pretty goddamn bad. That's called a crime. It's called a crime. You're using illegally meansed credentials to access a multi-billion-dollar company and their trade secrets. Yes, that's illegal. That is significantly illegal. You're going to jail, bitch. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Okay. There was a furry on screen. I have to execute myself. I have to execute Minecraft. EXE. Sonic EXE. I have to execute that now. Let's see here. So it's shocking that they want to ruin me like this. Dylan says he hasn't been charged with anything yet. He says he's living with family. I'm a hacker in the eyes of the law. He told me a few weeks ago. Why is this guy talking like he was a gunslinger? Hackers are not that cool. Like, it's not like the movies. I've seen a person hack something. I've seen it. I know a computer specialist. He is a good friend of mine. I love the guy. But what I said... is hacking as cool as it is? He goes, I'll show you how to hack into something right now. I'm not saying what he hacked into. It was nothing important. It was nothing illegal. It was just, I think he was like hacking into a switch or something. I don't even remember. But like, He hacked into it, and it was the most boring shit on planet Earth to me. I literally wanted to die. I was sitting there, and I'm like, this is hacking. He goes, yeah. I was like, why do people think that they're awesome for this? He goes, I have no fucking idea. He goes, any idiot with, like, basic computer programming can figure it out. I'm like, oh, okay. He told me a few weeks ago. However, I see it is that I am someone curious with information and obsessed with owning everything that I otherwise shouldn't. Okay. Whistleblowers is okay. It's okay. It is what it is. I believe in whistleblowers. Like, the idea of, like, Edward Snowden getting classified information and bringing that to the public about the NSA and, like, downloading that information and doing that, sure. But I don't think getting Xbox information to say just a flex that you have, like, the source code early or to play games early is worth going to jail for however long it is. I don't think I could ever contemplate or even understand the reasoning to go to jail because you decided to hack Xbox or Nintendo or fucking PlayStation. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Like, why hack into something that's going to be $1 billion lawsuit? Or you're going to jail for sharing trade secrets. You're an idiot. That's an idiot thing to do. I have no problem with doing that if it's necessary to the government. Like, for aliens, the NSA, fucking put that shit out there. I want to read it. But I don't want a hold of it. I don't want it on my goddamn computer. I don't want it anywhere near me. I just want to read it. I just want to read it and go, I knew they had aliens. I knew the NSA was watching us. I knew the guy who made the FBI dressed up like a woman. I wanted to know that shit. And I knew it. But I don't want to be near it. Some of the tales Dylan told us, it's too wild to be true. But those Orbeez and Durango documents, real, Epic, and Blizzard, they said they got to him, however, briefly. So you guys kind of get the idea, right? This guy is like a hacker extraordinaire. He's been able to collect information from $1 billion company that created a lot of the computer software that we use today and be able to get information and play games early and have source codes for code Durango, right? There's a bunch of other stuff which is gone over in the Vince Vintage video, and I want to watch this to give context so that we could go over the video that he is trying to do against you. Well, not even really against YouTube, but to bring attention to how YouTube has been treating him.
Facing a litany of hacking charges across the world, Dylan Wheeler, a kid who'd been hacking since the age of 12, was a fugitive on the run. With a group of teenagers, he had stolen $100 million from Epic Games, Valve, Microsoft, hell, even the U.S.
See,
military.
now we've gone from dude hacked Microsoft. I love that we've got, I gave you guys like a taste, right? Like a little bit of a taste of the Xbox shit back in 2013. Now, there's $100 million stolen between Valve, Epic Games, the U.S. military, and Microsoft. Think about that. Think about that. This dude is like, oh, listen, I just wanted some information from Microsoft. I thought I just wanted to be a hold of it. No. $100 million stolen from 4 companies. 4 things you should not steal money from. That is the craziest shit to me.
And while the other teens were now locked up, Dylan had escaped to Poland. But now he was broke. But
He
from
looks
group of
like a
guys,
hacker. He looks like what Smaggle, I think, in my head looks like. Without a beard. That's how I picture Smaggle. That's how I picture Smaggle. All day, every day. Anytime I hear Smaggle's voice, this is it. How can you say that YouTube's letting Vince down when the situation's already been resolved for a day? It's the process in which they failed him. That's why I'm saying they failed him. The process. The fact that they allowed this individual to use false DMCA claims under a false name and then proceed to harass the individual and harass Vince, and YouTube did nothing about it. That's how they failed him. What's your answer to that, Smaggle? It's almost
Security
like I've
cameras
talked
at the
about this idea that YouTube's system is completely fucking broken.
local Polish bank were pretty lax, enough to plan a robbery. At 3 a.m., they lined up at the bank with no one in sight. And as they got inside and Dylan shut down the security system, they loaded up their bags with loot and walked out like it never happened. But as they got home to count their stash and dream of what they could buy, they had failed to realize there was a hidden camera in the wall that had seen it all. And Dylan Wheeler, the infamous kid hacker on the run.
Dude! What's that fucking... Oh, hold on. There's a movie with Gary Oldman. Fifth Element. Nobody is going to get this except for everyone who's old or enjoys good movies. No one's going to get this reference. Nobody. Not a single person. But I'm going to do it anyways because I don't care. Look at this. I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this. Look at this. Haircut. What is this, bro? What is this haircut, my dude? I love the style. It's fucking great. Oh, yes. It's fucking from The Fifth Element. Underrated movie. I'm pretty sure Bruce Willis is in it and Gary Oldman. Bruh. Some people have not seen The Fifth Element. Some people haven't.
Was finally caught. What started out as a gang of teenagers hacking their Xboxes to play pirated games for free would spiral down the path of corporate espionage, breaking into the U.S. military.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
$18
Chris
million
Tucker was in it. I forgot that Chris Tucker was in it. That was a great movie. I gotta watch it again.
FIFA fraud that went unnoticed for years. And it all starts here with the Xbox. Now, people freaked out when the Xbox 360 was released, not because of better games or graphics, but this thing had way better security. Why? Well, because hackers broke the security on the original Xbox, which sprouted a huge community of hackers who modded and exploited and pirated all things Xbox, and Microsoft was pretty pissed.
Man, I
So with
wonder
the Xbox
why.
360
I wonder
release,
why Daddy Gates was mad that a bunch of sweaty basement dwellers were able to hack their sophisticated Xbox so fast. I wonder why. That's probably why they shipped out the Xbox 360. This is the thing nobody talks about anymore. Nobody talks about this. And I remember when I had my Xbox, I never got the red ring of death. I was one of the lucky few. Never. Even the original one. I never had the red ring of death. But I knew people that had it and had it on a constant basis. That console at the start was the best video game console of our time. All time. But it was a scam. It was a scam. The repair service, a scam. The return, a scam. All of it was a scam. Microsoft scammed all of us back in the day, bro. But no shit, Daddy Gates is going to be mad that some sweaty hackers broke into their shit. The Xbox 360 was peak gaming. Peak console gaming. No console has touched it since. Everything else has been shit. Xbox Series S, Xbox One, fucking PlayStation 4, PS5, all dog shit, PS3, all of that shit was garbage compared to the beauty of the Xbox 360.
No one was going to pirate or mod any game, and actually hailed it as unhacked.
PS2
and for over 4 years, the Xbox hacked
was amazing. I will say that. It was amazing. But Xbox 360 brought gaming to another level because of online talk. When I was able to call people slurs when I was younger, and I know some of my family members are probably watching this, they're like, what do you mean you said slurs on Xbox, you asshole? I used to say a lot of fucked up shit, and that's how I learned my vocabulary. Thank you, Xbox. I appreciate you.
world just could not break the system, meaning no one could make mods for it, until someone found the missing link. At an e-waste recycler, Rowdy was searching for Xbox DVD drives.
The PS2 was amazing.
Them, kind of like
PS3 suck donkey dick. Xbox was great. Xbox 360.
freak, but after an hour of scrounging through the piles of plastic scraps on the floor, his eyes lit up. He had found an Xbox so rare, it actually had no business even being there. The Xbox 360 development kit. Now, this is a huge deal because a dev kit is a special console used to make video games. Microsoft leases them out to developers, so if you're an Xbox hacker, that's what you want. But let me just say, these dev kits are super rare. I mean, you have to provide industry references, resumes, hell, even sign an NDA. And to top it all off, reselling a dev kit is
it's almost
allowed.
like it's
But
an
if these are so rare,
industry.
how did these-
It's an industry piece of art. It's an industry console. It's not used for regular consumption by the public. It's almost like Microsoft doesn't want you to have that. It's almost like Microsoft would rake your cock over the coals, hot coals, with lawsuits to actually destroy your life. It's almost like that's what they would do to you. But hey, these guys wanted to hack an Xbox 360.
Get here, Vince. Well, the Red Ring of Death. Microsoft's Red Ring of The Red Ring of Death, one of the biggest recalls in Xbox history. And while these were all going to be crushed off, Rowdy gave these dev kits a new home in the hands of some of the most experienced hackers in the Xbox scene. As a child prodigy, David Pecor had been programming since he was in diapers. When his parents got him an original Xbox for Christmas, instead of just playing with it like a normal kid, David made mods for it. But now years later, with this unhackable Xbox 360, all he wanted was a dev kit. Because a regular Xbox you just buy at Walmart only runs signed code, which is approved from Microsoft. But a dev kit? Oh, that runs unsigned code, which could be anything David wanted. So when Rowdy hit him up with a dev kit for sale, David took all of the savings from his grandma's birthday checks and he got modding his favorite game, Halo 3. Now, through the months, as the mod got better, he shared his
Okay,
unpolished
listen, I know I've been shitting on this guy, but that is sick. The idea of modding Halo 3, the idea of being one of the first to mod Halo 3, arguably one of the best shooters of all time. And if you disagree with me, you're a bunch of fucking, You're a bunch of fucking deplorable degenerates that I hate. If you argue with me about Halo 3 being the best shooter, I hate you. Thank you, Gator82, for the $50. 07s, baby. Thank you so much. Halo 2 is better. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Best in the world. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar and you hate America.
mods.com, and people were blown away because this meant David had gotten a development kit, which was impossible to get. And of course, they asked him where did he get it from and how was he doing this, but David was not going to tell him. Quote, "You cannot do it. You won't know how. No one will tell you how. And even with the dev kit, you won't
Quake
get the mod. You want a dev
3?
kit? Good luck."
Quake 3? Bro. No. Halo 3 was amazing. The story was good. The fucking multiplayer was good. Everything was perfect. My life was a lot better back then. And now I'm an adult. I remember when my parents got me the Xbox because I just wanted to play with my friends, and they were like those overprotective parents. I know one of them's rolling their eyes right now because they're like, I wasn't overprotective. It was the other one. Yeah, listen. Listen, you in particular who's watching right now. I lied to you. I totally lied to you guys to get the Halo 3 game. I lied to you. I lied to the other individual. I lied to both of you. That game was amazing. There was blood everywhere. Lots of slurs and screaming and yelling. It was amazing. I totally lied to you when I was like 13. Actually, I don't even think I was 13. I think I got it when I was like 10, 11.
Programmer knew David was kind of fully. I mean, the kid obviously knew where to get a dev kit, so he hits him up with a little deal. Anthony would help polish his Halo 3 mod in exchange for the number of the guy who sold him that dev kit. So it's a deal. The two agree, they get working on the mod, and slowly they become friends talking about squirrels.
I said shooter!
Programming in their Halo 3
I didn't say platformers, CIA.
mod. That's when David found something on his dev kit that he'd only dreamed of ever finding. PartnerNet. It's where developers test their unreleased games on Xbox Live, meaning there were dozens of unreleased games that they could just play months before anyone else. I mean, for a true gamer, that's the dream. But PartnerNet isn't open to the world. It's only for licensed developers with a dev kit, and in this case, Anthony and David. To them, it felt like a secret club that they were in. But when developers noticed their unreleased games being played online, they decided to leave the two a little message the next time they logged on. Winners don't break into PartnerNet. But to Anthony and David, this wasn't a big deal. They were simply just curious about these upcoming games. It was all in the name of fun, right? But outside of stealing games off PartnerNet, the Halo community was amazed with how far their mod had come, although bummed that no one could even use it because, again, no one had a dev kit. But that would all change in 2009. In a presentation that rocked Microsoft, two hackers revealed that the Xbox 360 security had finally been broken, the JTAG exploit. With any simple modification, a regular Xbox 360 can have the abilities of a dev kit to run unsigned code. Or in other words, mods and piracy for everyone. Within days, thousands of people start JTAGing their Xboxes, and Microsoft was just freaking out. Because for Anthony and David, potentially now, anyone could use their mods like Infinite Ammo and Super Jump to cheat online. And people pay good money to cheat online. So in a genius move, they sell access to their mod for $100 an hour. And
imagine being a kid and selling mods for the Xbox 360 at $100 an hour. $100 an hour. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And it's thousands of people that were all biting at just chomping at the bit to get a hold of mods for Halo 3. Not even thousands. I want to say hundreds of thousands. That's like crazy. Think about that. $100 an hour these kids were raking in for modding a game. Microsoft hated these motherfuckers. I get why Microsoft raided your house, dude. I get it. I respect the hustle, though. I respect the shit out of the hustle.
With Daddy's Amex ready to max it out. The two start raking in about $8,000 a day, all via PayPal. Remember, these are kids making this kind of money. But for David, making this fast cash just didn't do much to him. According to him, money was just never the motivation. Rather, he craved that high of stealing those unreleased games. It was a feeling that he just couldn't even put a price on. But now everything had been stolen off of the partner net, so to get his hands on even more, David invited more hackers into the group now, the Xbox Underground. At PAX 2010, developers were showing off all of their upcoming games, but just in May, a member of the Underground was on a mission. You see, his Xbox account had been permabanned. He had emailed and called, but with no response back. And without his gamer tag, Justin was a nobody. So, with nothing left to lose, he was going to ask the director of Xbox Live to unban him in person. And we have it on video.
I actually came to PAX primarily for this panel. Can you unban my gamer tag, please? Okay, I played Forza 3 early.
I'm sorry, you should have done it.
Whoever again, but I won't make help.
There are some punishments for which there's sort of no recourse.
Yeah, the plan fails.
Bro, imagine. Oh my god. This is how fucking desperate these people were. Back then, bro, imagine going to PAX. You talk to the CEO of Xbox, and you go, "Can you please unban my gamer tag? I played Forza 3 early." Just implicate yourself right there that you have that you've been using you've been using a dev licensed network to play games early just to get fucked.
But Justin wasn't just gonna walk away empty-handed from PAX. The next day at the convention, Justin was stalking the Atomic Games booth. He saw the golden shrine on the pedestal, a 360 dev kit loaded with their unreleased game. It was a beaut. Atomic had spent over $6 million developing it, and Justin, he was just gonna take it. As they
Holy shit. I literally could not imagine that, bro. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine stealing a $6 million dev kit. $6 million.
turn around, Justin opens up his laptop, plugs it into the dev kit, but then security starts to walk by, and Justin bolts off. And of course, they chase right after him. But being a true Xbox gamer, he runs out of breath, and they tackle him down. So now with tears in his eyes, he told security it was all a big misunderstanding. It was his Wi-Fi not working, and he was connecting to the dev kit to get on the internet. But yeah, the stolen source code was on his laptop. Justin was... Because Atomic Games works with the FBI. So now this whole matter, yeah, it'd become a national security issue. With it...
Oh, shit. I don't even feel bad for this guy now. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for a fucking instance. You can't pay me to feel bad for this kid. You can't do it. He tried stealing a source code from a company that works directly with the FBI. Bro, you're done. It's over. It's so over. It's over, bro.
In an hour, they raid his home, confiscate all of his Xboxes, and charge a kid with receiving stolen trade secrets. But then the rumors come out that when Justin was arrested, he was begging the cops that if he was let go, well, he could name hackers higher up than him who stole way more than just one little game. But yeah, the judge didn't really care. Justin would get the death sentence. For a gamer. He got a court order that he was banned from playing his Xbox for 18 months. And now David knew if he was going to get his hands on more pre-release games, he needed to be a lot quieter about it. Now, with David's growing reputation, opportunity started just coming to him. And Super Day, also known as Dylan Wheeler, brought him the opportunity of a lifetime. I've come across a leaked form database with thousands of login credentials. Several emails belonging to Epic Games employees thought we could work together on this.
It's over. It's so over. Look at this right here. Several emails belonging to Epic Game employees. Thousands of login credentials. You're basically begging this billion-dollar company to come and fuck you.
Super Day. Now, a lot of people reuse their passwords, and hackers know that. Now, it's the biggest reason why leaks like this even happen, because of just reused passwords. Now, several emails in this leak were at epicgames.com. So if just one of those employees reused their password, David could enter Epic Games and steal...
He was truly a gamer terrorist. True! Gamer terrorism is a real thing. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a purse. You wouldn't commit 9/11. Gaming terrorism. Not even once.
From one of the biggest video game developers in the world. But this kind of seemed too good to be true, because who really was Dylan? He said he'd been hacking since the age of 12, and that he went to high school in Australia, and that he just come out of nowhere with this. I mean, was the kid a fed? But these logins did work, although the minute they logged into Epic Games, there was another problem. These accounts were just the IT support staff at Epic Games, meaning they couldn't see any of these upcoming projects or games, or as Dylan said, what a waste. They just fix printers and reset passwords. But David's a smart cookie, because he thinks, well, we have access to their emails, let's search for the word password in those emails. And that's when they come across the granddaddy of corporate IT fuck-ups. A master password list for every employee at Epic Games, all on a Word doc.
Okay, Epic might have done this to themselves now. Now I'm going in the opposite direction. I couldn't imagine working for a $1 billion company and, and putting all of your emails on an Excel spreadsheet, and it's as easy as typing in the word password in the emails.
Document just for anyone to look at. And all of this because one employee reused their password. Okay, so my advice, just check to see if your private information's been leaked in a data breach. And right now, you can check that using today's sponsor, Guardio. Guardio is a browser extension and
I like you, buddy, but I'm not doing the whole ad thing.
for the chairman's Lamborghini music loaded with Lady Gaga. But after days of searching, David finally found what he had been looking for. The Mac Daddy of unreleased games. Gears of War 3. This game had been delayed multiple times. Real gamers were dying to play it. But David just couldn't download it. I mean, even with an encrypted Nigerian VPN, it could obviously be traced back to him. What he needed was a hacked modem. Makes it impossible for anyone to track your down and gives you free internet. And while these are normally impossible to get, a member of the underground, Sinet, he had one. At 3 a.m., Sinet downloads the game to a remote server.
Wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying I want one of those. I'm not saying it. Nope. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying I want one, but
Using this hacked modem, but instead of just sending a download link, which again could be tracked, Sinet burns the game onto Blu-rays and he mails them out to the crew. So after all of the hard work and crimes that they had committed, David rips open that package and pops that sucker in, and oh my god, the game sucked. It wasn't even playable. But that's when the fear set in for David. Because if this ever got out that they had hacked into Epic Games, yeah, they were looking at some serious prison time. Yeah, the next day, Gears of War 3 was leaked online, and yeah, it made national news.
Gears of War 3 was leaked on the web. Epic Games warned people that downloading the title may actually melt your system.
Because Epic had spent over $60 million on its production, and Epic promised...
bro, $60 million. We went from 6 million to adding another zero to that, to the equation of how much money you're fucking with. You can't even get away with fucking around with $10,000 with the United States government. You have to be questioned for an hour if you try to just take $10,000 and put that in another venture, or if you just take that money and invest it into a life insurance policy, or if you do anything. You get questioned to death of a form of embezzlement. But I can't even imagine fucking with a $60 million project. $60 million just to play Gears of War 3 early.
the public they would find this could ever do such a thing. But David just couldn't sleep. I mean, did Epic have any evidence? Were they just gonna pop in and arrest him? And this curiosity drove him into hacking into Epic Games again, where now
Okay, this guy's an idiot. We went from this guy's stupid to Epic is stupid. Now we're back to this guy being a fucking retard. I can't. It's just up and down right now.
we found out that the FBI was now involved, but that still doesn't deter David. They continued to stay in Epic's network, knowing that the FBI was in there for months, but just to monitor the investigation. And although David put up a strong front to the others behind the scenes, the kid was freaking out. But David's problems only grew. His cheating mod business that he had with Anthony Clark, yeah, that was getting railed with the cease and desist letters from Game Studio. So the two shut that business down, but they remained pretty close friends. And while David continued on his warpath of stealing unreleased games, well, Anthony Clark, he had found his next business opportunity. Now, in the FIFA video game, you can earn FIFA coins to build out a better team playing against a computer or humans. But these coins cannot be bought. You have to play games to get coins. But Anthony came across websites that sold FIFA coins for cash. Yeah, they were in China and they did look a little sketch, but you could buy the coins with cash. And it got Anthony thinking, what if he made a bot that could automatically play the FIFA game to earn FIFA coins, and then maybe sell them off to these Chinese websites? Genius idea. So as a proof of concept, he spends months developing a tool, and oh boy, it worked way better than he even thought. It could play one whole game against the computer within a second, earning him thousands of coins a minute. With just one Xbox development kit running this tool, it made about Anthony $30 an hour, automatically, 24/7 per machine. But then his first week of wholesaling coins out to China, Anthony had made a couple of grand. And of course, the business grew. He bought dozens of dev kits, racking up the electricity bill at his house. And while David wanted nothing to do with the FIFA coin business, he referred him out more programmers like Nathan LaRoe, Austin Akala to develop the tool even further, and this business grew. But was this even legal? Now, after a few months of watching every email come through Epic Games, the FBI just stopped emailing their security team, because even with the crew still inside of Epic's network, they had no idea who had leaked Gears of War 3. Or in other words, they had gotten away with it. David grew intoxicated by the power he had, leveraging his skills not only for personal gain, but now financial gain. Instead of stealing games for free, he had found a bunch of rich-ass gamers who'd pay him the big bucks to steal games for a business.
Bro, these people are stupid. I'm not even joking. They're like actual retards. So you start off it kind of innocently, where I could defend it and be like, you're just a bunch of kids that are looking for like early release games. I probably would have done the same thing at one point. If I was like young and I understood how to code and hack and all that shit, I would have done that. I would have. But, this is a huge but, the issue being is that you started working to break the law for other people. You became the middleman, and now you've completely destroyed it. Now it's no longer like this wholesome little story of a hacker that just wanted to play games early that you could maybe get away with and maybe talk the judge down from slapping you upside the head to the point where you get your ass kicked. Now it's over. Now you're committing felonies.
Whole hacking thing? Yeah, it was a growing, expanding business. Now, if you ever played Fortnite, you'll probably heard of Unreal Engine. Now, it's a tool for game developers to build out the worlds and, some of the biggest video games out there. And wouldn't you know it, Unreal Engine is owned by Epic Games, meaning that master password list for every employee at Epic, yeah, that could be a springboard into hacking into every company in the goddamn world. So with months of meticulous planning, they slipped through the virtual defenses, mainly using reused passwords. They began to break in and steal from every major game developer in the world. Hundreds of companies, thousands of games having total control over their networks, or as David said himself.
Are you Wait, have you been listening? I have to the Australian Department of Defense. I have every single big company. Intel, AMD, Nvidia, any game company you can name. Google, Microsoft, Disney, Warner Brothers. Oh my god, Disney. Everything.
This dude implicated himself in a phone call. You're fucking with me, right? I'm supposed to feel bad for this guy. He wants everyone to, like, forget that this happened. He wants us to feel bad for him. He's like, well, it's all in the past. It is what it is. Dude, you were fucking... Bro! You were bragging that you collected information off of the Australian government. Disney, Warner Brothers, Blizzard, Valve, Microsoft, Epic Games. Bro, you're done. It's over. It's over. I'm surprised that you aren't in jail for life with these companies coming to fuck you. I don't like any of these companies. I don't trust any of these companies. But I'm not stupid enough to hack them and then brag that I hacked them.
But after breaching Microsoft, that's when they stole the secret that had been hidden from the public eye. It was the files for the unreleased Xbox One prototype called the Durango, the source code, the tech specs, all the assembly instructions. For a group of Xbox hackers, having the next-gen Xbox documents, yeah, that's like the craziest thing ever. And they decided they were going to build a counterfeit of it. Now, it probably sounds insane, but a Durango or Xbox One is just off-the-shelf parts like a computer. So using those documents they stole as a build guide, they put together a counterfeit Durango, and they just stare at it. Because there was no games for it. So Austin and Akala thinks, maybe we can sell this, to make some money off of that Microsoft hack. But not on eBay. That would bring way too much heat. So Austin builds out the Durango, and they find a dude in West Africa who pays him $5 grand for this counterfeit Durango.
Where are they going to find a guy in West Africa to fucking pay $5 grand? How do these people get in contact with these people? Who the fuck is going to pay $5 grand in West Africa to get a counterfeit of the Xbox One? Who wants that? $5 grand? Bro, you got fleeced. To that dude in West Africa, you got fleeced as fuck.
And then all of a sudden, after talking to no one for 2 years, Justin May shows up and he's back in the crew. And he offers to ship it out because, quote, I can get a good deal on shipping. And the crew lets him. But the Durango would never even arrive because the buyer in West Africa, that was the FBI. Now, Dylan Wheeler was the kid who...
The government fucking got him. Hey, are you selling counterfeited... Are you stealing trade secrets? Are you, by chance, building a counterfeit of a billion-dollar company's product? Yeah, just sell it to some dude in West Africa. That's 100% on the up and up. I love this story. This is my favorite story I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't give a fuck about anything else I've covered. This is the greatest story ever. The FBI, the feds, acted like some dude in West Africa wanted it. That was like the first thing when I heard that, the first thing that came to my mind was like, who would buy that in West Africa? Who would pay $5,000 in West Africa? That is an obvious Fed trap. That's an obvious Fed trap. Yeah, we just found this guy in West Africa that's willing to pay us $5,000. Bullshit. What does some dude in Iceland offer you money to, you fucking idiots?
Just always had to be right. And now with the secret knowledge of the Xbox One, he argued all day in the forums about what it would be and what it looked like, but no one believed him. And this pissed off Dylan Wheeler.
Bro, there's no way he was flexing in the Xbox forums that he knows what the... These guys are idiots.
So much. So he ends up leaking all of the stolen documents from Microsoft, and hell, even puts his Twitter handle in it. That'll show him, he thinks.
Wait a minute. Wait. His Twitter handle are furries making out. Okay, I knew I hated this guy. I knew I had an issue with this guy. I hate him. I hate you. That's your Twitter profile? Really? You disgusting furry? No wonder they're idiots. Furries ruin everything. It's official. Even in 2013, they ruined everything. It's official. You can't have nice things around furries. It's impossible.
But then behind everyone's backs, that's still not enough. He puts the Durango on eBay. And of course, the news picks it up. They got a Durango on eBay.
What's it on eBay?
They got the documents all leaked. It's one of Microsoft's biggest leaks in years. And although the crew was freaking out over this attention, Dylan just loved it. He was doing interviews as the Xbox leak kid.
What was the whole purpose of you leaking out information about Durango?
To Microsoft, it was the purpose of this is what can happen if you don't fix these problems. This wasn't malicious.
But it's still not enough. Dylan wants games for his Durango. So
Hold on, show. It wasn't malicious. Okay, listen. It wasn't malicious to rebuild a counterfeit version of the Xbox One prototype. It wasn't malicious to try and sell that counterfeit prototype to somebody you believed to live in West Africa who was offering you $5,000. That's not malicious. That looks super malicious. That looks like you're trying to sell trade secrets.
he starts hacking into more video game companies by himself to find more upcoming games, but he finds something even better. Zombie Studios has a direct VPN connection to the US military. Maybe they were making a game, he thought. So he gets in the network, and instead of some stupid Xbox game, we find something even crazier. The training simulator for the AH-64D Apache helicopter. And he thinks, maybe I could sell it to the Arabs. So he
No. No. No, bro. No. Dude, it wasn't malicious at all. I was never malicious. There's no reason to believe that I was malicious at any point throughout this. Tried selling the training of Apache helicopters to the United Arab. There's... And this dude wants us to feel sorry for him? Yeah, okay, dude.
commits espionage and steals 500,000 lines of code, and he just could not wait to tell David. I mean, that's the ultimate unreleased game, right?
That's not a game. That's not a game. That's not a game. That's U.S. military secrets. You fucking dumbass.
Oh, but David was livid, stating, how the f are we even supposed to play this? You're an idiot. The Arabs already have Apache helicopters, so why the f would they need a simulator? Get the hell out of here, man. You're done. But Dylan's problems were just only beginning. At the age of 17, Dylan Wheeler had Microsoft investigator Miles Hawks in his living room. Now, he had flown all the way out to Australia just to ask Dylan, how did he get all these Durango documents? And Dylan just tells him everything, that he hacked into Microsoft with a team of experts that he was the leader of, and it was all because he was a curious little boy. But that whole putting the Durango on eBay, that was just a big joke. Lighten up, buddy. So Miles lets him off with a little warning. Stop hacking Microsoft, stop posting Durango stuff on eBay, and we're all good.
The investigator is fucking delusional. What? You just let the guy go? Listen, just stop hacking into Microsoft, okay? Like, just stop. Like, seriously. Cut it out, kid. You know, nice slap on the wrist. Cut it out. Don't sell the Durango on eBay. Just cut it out, bro. It's not that big of a deal. We're just gonna let it go. We're just gonna let it go. You fucking loon.
The next day, Dylan puts the Durango on eBay, and Microsoft shuts down the listing, and Bill
But guys, it wasn't malicious.
Gates calls in a little raid from the Australian Popo. They bust in through his house, and oh boy, they find evidence of hacking into the US military, hundreds of game developers, and that he had hosted servers with child content on it. Which that detail gets left out a lot. So now Dylan's...
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that! I wasn't expecting that! I wasn't expecting an EDP! Well, he looks like one. Just look at that face. He looks like one. If I'm just being honest. Fuck, he's gonna hack me next. God damn it. 22 counts of hacking and possession of CP.
facing 22 felony charges, waiting trial, out on bail. But it even gets dumber. He does an interview with Kotaku magazine where he just tells the world that he had hacked into every game developer. But it wasn't just to make money. No. It was just because he was a curious little boy. The interview.
It wasn't to make money whatsoever. I just tried selling the Durango on eBay to for $5,000. But it wasn't to make money. I swear. The modding thing wasn't to make money. None of it was to make money. I swear to you. Leave me alone. I'm just a curious little boy. I'm just a curious boy. Yeah, okay. Okay, bro. I'm just a curious boy. I'm just curious. I'm curious. Don't worry. I'm just curious. Don't arrest me. Come on.
Link down below, and it's a pretty.
Oh, whoa. My fucking headphones just staticked out.
Even the reporter doesn't believe him. Oh, and all of that child stuff? Again, that wasn't him. That was just the other hackers in the Xbox Underground, who had also now been raided by the feds. Except for David. Now, while David's crew was just falling apart, Anthony Clark's business was growing like a startup. Their production increased to 1 million FIFA coins a second. Anthony hired programmers, accountants, attorneys, hell, even formed an LLC. In just 8 months, Anthony made over $7 million. He bought this house, he bought a Mercedes, his coworkers bought Lamborghinis, all from FIFA coins. But the money hadn't come that easy. Well, at first, the FIFA game had no security. They'd now added in CAPTCHAs to prevent the bots that they were now using. But again, no problem. They just developed bots to do the CAPTCHAs. But the real question was this even legal? Now, the coins weren't stolen or hacked from FIFA. It was just a bot that played hundreds of games a second, to get FIFA coins that, again, couldn't be bought. I mean, in their own terms of service, it says the coins have no value, mainly for tax reasons. So how could it be fraud? Now, months after the raid of others in the crew, David received a message from Armand the Cyber with an opportunity. Now, Armand had stolen a real Durango from Microsoft's headquarters. He had a family friend that worked there, and he cloned his employee badge and just dressed up like a dork and walked in their headquarters and just took it. And he told David it was so easy that he'd be willing to do it again to get David his own Durango, in exchange, of course, for a couple of grand. Now,
That sounds like a Fed. Listen, dude, it was super easy just to walk into a secure facility at Microsoft, steal the actual prototype, and just walk out again. Nope, no strings attached. I'll just steal another one for you. It's no big deal. If this dude fell for this, he might be the biggest retard on planet Earth. I don't care how old he was. He might have been the dumbest bastard ever. I'm literally not joking. He might have been the dumbest bastard of all time.
To me, this guy seems like a total Fed, but to David, it seemed like a great idea, so he went through with it. So wearing his Bill Gates deluxe uniform and his fake badge, Armand gets in. Now, he had heard the Durangos were on the 5th floor, but his badge didn't have that security clearance to get in there. So, at America's most technologically advanced company on Earth, he bypasses all of their security by taking the stairs. And he shoves 2 Durangos in his backpack, walks out like nothing ever happened, bam, 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 mission accomplished. Yeah,
okay, so apparently this guy wasn't a Fed. What the fuck? How?
The next week, Armand gets a call from Microsoft headquarters. They wanted him to come down to their offices to have a little chat with them because, Armand had gotten hired there. And that's when he remembered, oh my god, I put in my job application last month.
What? Excuse me? Excuse me? You're telling me that this guy thought he could walk into Microsoft, steal information, forgot that he put his job application in, caught on cameras everywhere, and forgot all about that. He was just like, oh, fuck. I put my job application in. This should be a movie, dude. I agree. It should be a movie.
So David's got a Durango, Armand's got a new job, and they lived happily ever. It was actually all a trap to bring Armand to Microsoft's interrogation room. They had it all on cameras, and Armand confesses to everything. Now, they tell Armand that Microsoft would not press any charges if he could just bring the Durangos back, or else things would get nasty. Armand calls David.
How is Microsoft so forgiving? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that, like, very, very briefly? Why the hell is Microsoft so forgiving to these guys? That dude attempted to steal trade secrets from Microsoft. The other guy got visited by a Microsoft investigator, their own version of PI, and let him go. Why is Microsoft so forgiving? Shit, everyone should start stealing their stuff then. I'm kidding. Don't sue me, Microsoft. It's a joke.
David freaking out, saying how would it be if they didn't get these Durangos back? I'll give them all this money. Just send the Durango back, anything. But David just stops picking up his calls because this was Armand's problem, not his. Pulling up to the U.S. border, David and his father told Customs that they were just driving to the U.S. to run a real quick errand. But after just one glance of David's face, they asked him to get out of the car, and they put him in handcuffs. And they tell his dad that David would not be coming home for a very long time. For the last 8 months, the FBI had a secret indictment listing David Pecora as the first foreign hacker to be charged criminally in the United States. Why? Stealing over $100 million in American trade secrets. Now, along with David was Sinet, Austin Akala, and Nathan LaRoe were all arrested and charged as co-conspirators. Now, all four would plead guilty to stealing over $100 million in trade secrets, with Nathan, Sinet, and David all getting prison time, except for Austin Akala. The FBI had found something very interesting on his computer. Now, while Anthony Clark had been David's
that guy didn't get arrested.
partner in the past, he never got caught up into this case. He didn't steal games, he just mined FIFA coins. But when the FBI found evidence on Austin Akala's computer of this FIFA coin mining operation that made millions of dollars, yeah, that's who they went after next. On September 2015, Anthony Clark and his 3 employees who were separate from the crew were raided from the IRS, where they seized over $4 million in assets. Because Anthony's little business, yeah, that had made him over $18 million in a couple of years. But the problem started when he was withdrawing up to $30,000 a day from his 13 personal bank accounts, because those—
Okay, the guy's an idiot. The guy's such a dumbass. You think the IRS isn't going to catch on to that shit? $30,000 for multiple bank accounts? You fucking psycho.
glitched FIFA coins he made while he did sell them to China, and hell, even paid his taxes on them. The government said it was all wire fraud. Now, Anthony's 3 partners, who also made millions from this, did a plea deal to give up all of the money they made in exchange for absolutely no jail time. Because, you know, if the FBI brings a case against you, there's a 99% chance that they're gonna win. But Anthony truly felt he was innocent. His attorneys thought they could win a case at trial, because again, these FIFA coins couldn't be bought from EA. He didn't hack in, he didn't steal the coins. So how could you commit wire fraud for something that's free? But when the prosecutor said, if this was not money nor property they were obtaining, then what were they getting paid $16 million for? That's when the jury found Anthony Clark guilty of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. So, pleading innocent to 22 charges, Dylan Wheeler had 48 hours to hand in his passport to the Australian police. But instead, his mom just drives him to the airport, and then he hops on a flight, and he leaves the country to the Czech Republic. All—
Huh? What? Hi, Star. Hello. Bro. No. This dude did not fucking flee the country. I was supposed to feel bad for this fucker.
Because Dylan had dual citizenship there and he couldn't be extradited back, he was now a free man. Now, instead of just laying low as a fugitive on the run, Dylan does interviews with the news.
To be honest, it's quite scary that I was able to leave on my Australian passport, because they have a system that they use at border control to find out if you're a criminal, if you're trying to leave the country, and it'll flag you normally.
Australia would arrest his mom after he said that and even sentence her to 2 years in prison, because technically, you know, she was harboring a fugitive when she drove him to the airport. Now, Dylan Wheeler's alone in the Czech Republic, his mom's locked up, he's got no money. So he gets a job at a cybersecurity firm, you know, that specializes in banks. Dylan did interviews saying he's a reformed hacker, he's a good boy now. But a week later, customers at these banks began complaining that hundreds of thousands of dollars were getting transferred onto the debit card of an Australian citizen. Who could that be? Oh, Dylan Wheeler. So the Czech police raid his apartment. Oh, and they find he's counterfeiting money now. So
I love this story. You know who should make this like a movie, like a Sundance Film Festival video? The Internet Historian. He should do that on the Incognito channel. I love the Sundance Rejects video series. They have to make one on this. They have to.
Pleads guilty in the Czech Republic, and then he only gets probation, and then he flees off to England. Now, while in England, he starts his own cybersecurity firm called The Day After Exploit. You know, he's giving interviews, he's doing security conference presentations, but then in October of 2020, his business dissolves, his Twitter shuts down, he deactivates his website. There is not a trace of him past October 2020. So I got a hold of one of Dylan's old coworkers, and they said he had left England and was actually living in Poland, but not for what you think. Because there, he had decided to rob a Polish bank with 2 random dudes he just met at a bar. But then the whole thing was caught on hidden camera. So the next day, Dylan Wheeler's arrested, and today, he sits in a Polish prison with a 10-year sentence for robbing a bank. Now, the week before his sentencing, out on bail, Anthony was out for his birthday, and he partied so hard with his friends. And after that final round of shots, hugging all of his friends goodbye, Anthony went to bed knowing that his friends and family really did have his back. But sadly, he wouldn't wake up the next day. His mom found him not breathing.
Oh, shit.
The coroner would rule an accidental drug overdose from mixing the Vicodin in the alcohol. There was no note left behind. He never talked about doing this on purpose. It was all an accident. He had so much to offer the world from such a young age. He was such a talented programmer. And to just see it all be ended like this, it's really a tragic story.
Bro, I wasn't expecting a fucking sad part of this. I wasn't expecting. Okay, listen, I didn't know. But he's not the bad. Okay, is he a bad guy? You can kind of put that in quotations, right? But towards the end, he reformed himself like the other guy.
But for the others like David, Sinet, and Austin Akala, today they have thriving careers as programmers, cryptographers.
Star, if you're really asking that question, come on, man. No, it's my roommate. Friend of multiple years, bro.
Families of their own. And while I did contact them for their side of the story, all of them refused to comment.
Okay. So this video was made, right? We went over the situation involving everybody involved, right? We've received the context of all of these dumbasses breaking the law, hundreds of millions of dollars stolen in software data, fucking with Microsoft, fucking with the U.S. government, trying to sell U.S. flight simulation coding for the Apache helicopter, sending all of that, trying to send that to the Arabs, trying to sell a prototype of the Xbox One to a dude in West Africa getting caught by the FBI, being yelled at by Microsoft. This is a lot. A lot, right? Let's go into the update of what's happened. What happened recently is that you saw all of this. Now Vince, behind the scenes for the past month, has been dealing with one of the hackers that have not left him alone, harassing him, trying to dox him, copyright striking his videos. And do you want to know what YouTube did about it? The same thing that they did with the Ackman stuff. Same thing that they've done with the Magnates Media stuff. Every single fucking drama that involves creators being falsely copyright striked, falsely taken advantage of by individuals that are trying to just push either the boundary or trying to make another person's life a living hell. One of the hackers decided to go after his channel, his livelihood, something that he's been building for years. And YouTube does nothing about it because this guy is trying to find Vince. And the only way to dispute a copyright claim is to file your full legal name to the other individual and your information to essentially dox yourself to the person who is harassing you. I get that YouTube puts their hands up and goes, it's all safe harbor. We can't get involved in copyright disputes. YouTube, if there is a creator reaching out to you saying there is somebody who is falsely doing this stuff, here's the proof. This guy is trying to ruin my life. He's trying to get my information so that he can harass me more. Please stop this. I feel like that's not infringing on the safe harbor. I feel like that's just protecting your creators. But fuck me, right? I'm not the guy running the billion-dollar fucking company that Google owns. That's an insane thing to worry about. That some asshole can go through and do all of that to you, and you have to be the one to give up your information so that person can keep harassing you all the way through and through.
Upload quality stuff, where I put a lot of time and effort into it, but I'm literally at the point, I never wanted to make this video because I like to upload quality stuff, where I put a lot of time and effort into it, but I'm literally at the point where I don't know what else to do but make this video. For the last month and a half, I have had a stalker, and this stalker has done everything they can to try to destroy my life and my livelihood, which is my YouTube channel. I've received messages nearly every single hour for the last 35 days.
I feel like that's a lot of evidence for YouTube to be like, okay, we're stepping in. I feel like that's enough evidence to receive DMs nearly every hour for the last 35 days from one specific account, taking credit for shit, and YouTube doesn't do anything. This is the issue I have with this platform, right? I love this platform. It's great. It allows people to be themselves and create whatever they want. I'm not a fan of taking people down. We've already discussed this. What I am not a fan of is doxing. Doxing in all of its forms is fucking wrong, and you're a piece of shit who does it. And you are nothing. You are literally scum on the bottom of the fucking pond, you pieces of shit. Now, getting past my rant about that. This right here is legitimate harassment. This is insane people talk. This is an insane fucking thing to do. And YouTube doesn't do anything for this guy. Think about that. YouTube doesn't do a goddamn thing for this guy. You just learned about all the expertise that they have collectively as a group or even as individuals, and YouTube does nothing.
The point where this man has placed 4 copyright strikes on my
5.
videos to get my channel terminated. Because YouTube's rules, well, if you get 3 strikes, your channel's donezo. But YouTube has done absolutely nothing to help me out in this situation. Now, the stalker is so vicious that I've had to hire a private investigator a cyber harassment litigation firm, and a copyright attorney. So who is this stalker, and why is he doing this to me, trying to ruin my YouTube channel? Now, I mentioned this stalker in one of my most recent videos about the Xbox Underground hackers, and one of the hackers that was arrested for hacking into the US military and all that, his name is Sinet. And Sinet has been the absolute scum of the earth for the last fucking month and a half. I genuinely fear for my life at this point. I've had to move out of where I live. I've had to change fucking all of my shit because this guy is just seeping into every personal aspect of my life to try to fuck it up. So just keep this in mind. Sinet is a hacker that pled guilty to hacking into the United States government, and now he is stalking. So this guy's got the skills to really fuck up my life. So why is Sinet doing this, you might ask? So when I was making this video, I saw that Sinet had done an interview about all of his crimes publicly on the Darknet Diaries podcast. Great podcast, nothing bad to say about it. So because he'd done that public interview, I messaged Sinet thinking that he'd be open to do an interview with me. And I sent him a really nice thing stating, hey, I'm just looking to pick your brain about some stuff. But Sinet tells me he doesn't want to do the interview. It wants nothing to do with me, which is fine. I totally get it. He says he's turned down people who have made docuseries on Netflix. Okay, whatever. But then Sinet starts telling me that I should move on from this story, that I probably shouldn't even make this video because everyone wants to forget about it. So I tell Sinet, hey man, I understand where you're coming from, and that's it. At the end of the day, I don't say anything beyond that. So
There's
Sinet,
nothing wrong with what you just said. Understand, man. I was just seeing if there's anything else you wanted to say. I assumed you'd be open to talking about it since you went on the Darknet Diaries interview in your bio, but I understand where you're coming from. Totally fucking professional. Being like, I get it, dude. You don't want to talk. I'll just move on and do what I have to do without you. And this dude takes that as like an invitation to start fucking with this guy's life? This Sinet motherfucker? Really?
never responds back to my message, and I get working on the video. The story of the Xbox Underground, his story, has been told thousands of times, so I'm going to tell it in my own way. So 2 months later, I published my video on July 25th, 2023, and the video's a 1 out of 10. It's doing really well. I'm really proud of it. But then, 2 days later, after not talking to Sinet for maybe about 2 months, I start to receive all of these threats from Sinet on Twitter. And he says, yo, that video got me feeling some way about you right now as a person. You proved all you care about is views. That's why you never got the time of day. So
the guy offered to talk to you. You knew he was going to be making a video. He didn't say, okay, I'll scrap the video. I respect, I'm just going to let this go. He never said that. You had an inclination that he was going to make the video in the first place, you fucking bald dumbass. So how do you get mad and start accusing him for it's just about the views with you? That video got me feeling some way about you right now. You, someone who killed themselves as your thumbnail, then had no real interviews, but did a story. I told you I wanted it dead, and you understood supposedly. How is he supposed to not he literally was telling you, I'm going to be making the video regardless, without even really saying it, because that's what people do. You reach out for an interview. If they say no, you run the story the way without it. And if that individual gets mad that the interview didn't happen, that's on them.
Ignore the message. Whatever, he's upset with it. The story's been told 1,000 times. So on July 28th is when the harassment
My
started.
real issue, again, is with YouTube. The sheer fact that there are this many DMs that you are about to see that show significant evidence that this dude is 100% fucking with his channel, and YouTube doesn't step in and do shit throughout this entire time. Now, I understand it has been resolved, courtesy of Smaggle. Thank you, Lisp retard, for filling me in on that. And I was aware that other larger YouTubers were working behind the scenes with contacts to get that fixed. But it's still insane that it happened in the first place. That he had to fight this shit. It doesn't matter if it was solved. It took a month. It took a month of getting stalked by this guy. YouTube getting copyright striked by this guy. And YouTube did nothing until there was enough public outrage for them to do something. That's my issue. That's why they're letting this guy down. I even said that earlier when Smaggle tried doing that. That's my issue.
Sophisticated stalking campaign. He's calling me a piece of scum, telling me I shouldn't be a YouTuber, and he's sending me tweets every single hour, all through the night, telling me, Vince, I believe that was nice when I said I wanted to leave it all behind. To claim to understand that and still make a video was low. All because I told him in that original message I sent him that I understand why he's declining. I never said I understand and I'm not going to do the video, but that's what he thinks. So he continues on about a piece of shit, story chaser, leave me alone, and then he sends me a private message. Now this is interesting. Sinet tells me, the scene is made of where, and I'll be posting my personal email in the video. Now the scene is the hacking scene. So pretty much it's a soft-handed threat that I should be shooting bricks because they're going to come after me. So mind you, I'm not responding back to any of this. And then he starts posting on my Twitter account, what Vince Vintage is no different than a creeper who fondled the female when she says no. Sinet is not very good at typing. So now he's calling me like a sex pest at this point because I made a video that he didn't want made. Then he tells me to eat shit. And then at 6:20 a.m., Sinet's posting all night long. Think about it, all night long he's just thinking about this. He says, Vince Vintage, don't worry, wait for my YouTube.
Bro, these kinds of people are fucking deranged. Like, they really are. The ones that dedicate their life to you and you don't even want them near you, they're sad. Not even, I wouldn't even use, they're like disgusting little fucking pond scum pieces of shit. Like, the guy just did a story about you that was already public, that was already known, that was revisited 100 times, that other creators have made the videos, that articles were written, you went on a podcast, all of this stuff was done. And this little fucking freak is tagging him every hour on the hour, DMing him every hour for 35 days. That's insane people behavior. If you are that dedicated to being mad that somebody outed your shit that was already outed, you're actually a fucking deranged lunatic. He has nothing better to do because these people are fucking scum. They have nothing better to do with their lives. They're actual scum. Repute scum.
Basically making an underhanded threat that something would happen through YouTube, but I don't know what it is. Now, at 6:32 a.m., he sends me a private message. The whole scene is laughing at you, basically talking about the hacking scene. Another soft-handed threat that the hacking scene would destroy my life. And all of this, I just ignore. And these are just the real highlights of all the tweets. So the next day, July 29th, after I see Sinet tweeted me all fucking morning, I block him at 10:30 on July 29th, 2003 on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. And then 93 minutes after blocking him, I get a DMCA claim on the video that he was trying to get me to take down by an Adam Chester. Now, Adam Chester provided an email, adamchester3@protonmail.com, which if you don't know, Proton Mail is notoriously used by hackers to hide their identity, which Sinet pleaded guilty to hacking into the US government. The timing of Adam Chester copyright striking my video was very suspicious after Sinet had harassed me over 13 hours nonstop. So I emailed YouTube's copyright team and then I emailed Adam Chester to find out like what these claims were. Because this video that was doing so well is taken down. And I'm extremely upset at this point. So at 4:17 a.m., the same time that Sinet was consistently harassing me, Adam Chester responded to my email asking what these copyright infringements were. And he said, I'll have to check on that, but I'm traveling. Though I remember it was for multiple copyright infringements. As far as I remember, there were multiple other videos on your channel which violate my copyrights. But for now, I have not filed those strikes, since 3 strikes in 90 days leads to your channel getting
That's
banned.
like, that's such a dick move from this Adam Chester guy, too. I'm going to be honest. Him saying, well, you know, there's a lot of my copyrighted material in your videos. Let me guess. We just saw a pretty fair use goddamn video. Can we all agree here? We saw a pretty fair use video. Maybe one of the most fair use videos I've seen. Outside of, like, let's say, like, the Ackman shit or, like, you know, a lot of the shit, right? A lot of shit that we have covered are fair use videos. This dude saying that he's used his copyright, I feel like this guy is also a fucking major douchebag. But that's a guy for another time. But it's still crazy that this dude admits, yeah, we didn't strike you. You know, if we did all of it at once, you'd be deleted. We don't want that for you.
Let's be careful in future videos. Have a good weekend. So Adam Chester can't tell me what these copyrighted infringements were on every single video on my channel that could lead to my channel getting banned. He's giving me a soft-handed threat that if I don't remove this video, he's going to go through and strike more videos.
Which Adam Chester, funny enough, is most likely the alias of this other guy. And it is. It is. We're just going to go with it is. Because who else would say, well, a lot of my copyrighted work is in there. That video that we just watched, that was all independently him. He scripted it. He made the video in of itself. I'll even show you. Like, just to take a look at this again. Look at all of this. It's like an internet historian video with stock images, jokes, memes, all this shit. There's nothing in there that could be considered copyrighted work by another individual. How could this be copyrighted? What, the stock images? The stock images have been transformed. He put faces. on these people using different stock images. There is no way to do that. So I don't know how the fuck someone could reach out and say, well, yeah, that's my copyrighted work. That's how you know it's bullshit. Like, right off the fucking bat.
On my channel to give me more of a hard time to try to terminate my shit. So here's the fucking gnarliest part of all this. Now, when you get a copyright strike on your video, the YouTuber, you can file a counterclaim against that strike. And it basically states that, no, this actually wasn't copyrighted material. It's fair use. You make your argument. But when you send that counter notification, you have to put your legal name, your legal address, your phone number, all that information. So when they file the lawsuit, if they do, they know where to send it to. Now, I knew that Sinet was using this copyright claim system to not only screw with me by not having the video up, but also trying to obtain my real information to dox and swap me. So I hire an attorney at this point to legally represent me on the counterclaim, because I knew Sinet was trying to do this to fuck with me. So I'm like, I got an attorney, everything's gonna be all good, this guy won't know my name. So I put the attorney's name, all of their info on the counterclaim, we fill out the form, we send it out to YouTube. But YouTube does not accept the form with my attorney's name on it. YouTube says that I have to provide my legal name tied to my AdSense account. Although the person filing the copyright takedown has to provide no identification.
That's where my issue lies. An individual at any point could completely bullshit, make a DMCA claim up, strike you down, provide no information whatsoever, but you, the creator, have to provide that information to counter it back if it is a false claim. You have to give all of your information, phone number, email, address, full fucking first and last name. Think about that. Somebody at any point, some asshole, can DMCA you if you're a YouTuber just to fuck with you. Or, in the case of, let's say, a harassment campaign or a stalking campaign, could continuously strike your channel and nothing happened to them. None of their information, nothing. You can't send a cease and desist to them or anything. They could just put a bullshit name in there and completely fuck your entire livelihood over if you do YouTube full time. At any point, somebody can fuck you. That's my issue with YouTube. That right there. That one aspect right there is why I think YouTube is a flawed fucking platform when it comes to the DMCA system. They made it a little bit better, right? You could do like the 7 days to 30, whatever, right? You can kind of, it's gotten a little bit better. But that is a huge issue. Massive. And I had to file my own counterclaim recently because somebody that represents that Jack guy that we talked about, the Fousey stuff, they tried to claim me for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I had to send all the information to that company. I said, go fuck yourself. This video is fair use. This reaction is fair use. I've used multiple different sources. I used other people's videos. It's not just the majority of your video. 10 seconds does not constitute a claim nor a strike. And they backed the fuck off real fast. It took them 2 days to rescind it. But it's still fucked that could happen at any time to anybody. What if that was a fake shell company? Thank God somebody reached out to me. Thank God fucking, I think, yeah, Hannah. Hannah told me that company has been around forever. So I knew it was a company that was real. It wasn't a bullshit fucking shell company.
Their fucking identity. So I have to show my full government name to this convicted hacker to file this counterclaim to get my video back up. That shit's so fucked up to me. So I filed the counterclaim with my legal name, but my attorney's email, address, phone number, and YouTube finally accepts the claim. And basically, the attorney wrote up this thing about all the copyright violations and why they were BS. Adam Chester, Sinet, was saying that a ABC7 news clip was actually his, that I used on my video. So we just sent the actual clip of the ABC7 from YouTube and being like, no, this is their clip, not Adam Chester. Adam Chester had no registered trademarks or copyrights to any of that stuff in the footage. So the whole thing was just BS right there. So after I filed the counterclaim that Adam Chester, which is Sinet, gets a copy of, Sinet leaves a tweet directed at me, even though I blocked him on Twitter. And he says, at least he was man enough to pull down the video. However, he was still a bitch. Instead of saying sorry, he pulls the video down and blocks me. How can someone be so asinine is beyond me. So Sinet's playing dumb here. Oh, at least he was man enough to pull down the video, but he's still a bitch. Whatever. We'll see a lot more of this in the future. So now it's August 1st, 2023. I have Sinet blocked on Twitter. But then he goes around, he starts tweeting publicly that whoever Adam Chester is, I'm gonna find him and strengthen the claim. He stole lines from Jack Resider, the Darknet Diaries podcast, and provides no evidence for what lines I stole.
That's not you can't copyright strike someone for that. You can't copy. Even if Vince, word for word, took something from someone else and regurgitated it on the internet, you can't copyright strike that guy. You can't do it. Unless it's just, you can't do it. That's an insane statement. That shows how retarded this guy is. That fucking Vince is dealing with.
Now, what's super interesting about this is that Sinet knows Adam Chester took down the video. Now, when a video is taken down for a copyright strike, it is delisted from YouTube. It cannot be searched. It isn't even shown in my channel. So how would Sinet possibly know that Adam Chester was the guy that made the claim? Well, I think Adam Chester is Sinet. So at this point, I contact YouTube support and several partner managers, and I lay out all of the harassment. I have all of the tweets, the messages, the BS, the DMCA claims, and YouTube tells me we can't do anything about it. You just have to go through the system. A couple days after sending
that to me annoys the shit out of me. You meet with 7 representatives at YouTube directly. You provide evidence showing that this guy 100% is lying. That there is nothing copyrightable that could be struck in there. On top of that, the guy's been harassing me for months, basically just outed himself as the guy who's been striking the channel under a false name. Yet YouTube doesn't do anything at the time. You just have to go through the process. What? I understand they're trying to protect their safe harbor provisions, but you aren't doing shit for the creator. You want people to be able to upload to this platform. You want people to be able to express themselves on this platform. But if an asshole decides to start fucking around and sending false DMCA claims for no reason, you're an asshole. You're a douchebag. And you have to sit there and deal with it.
That begins a 10 business day waiting period for a copyright lawsuit to be filed. In this case, Adam Chester would have 10 days to file a copyright lawsuit. And if he doesn't, well, my video gets to go back up on YouTube. So Adam Chester sends me a lengthy email telling me to take away my counter notification so the video's gone forever. And that
I'm not surprised, Forrest. I'm not surprised that they would do that.
Harassment and copyright infringement if I leave the video up, if I basically keep the copyright notification there. So we ask Adam Chester for his legal information, and then Adam sends an email back saying, I kindly request that you just withdraw your counter notification. Then he says he can't tell us the details of his legal team. And then he says that all of the claims of all of the copyright infringements is over $1 million USD that I would pay him if I left this video up. And then he continues to say that I keep harassing him. And then he ends the email saying that if I don't want to take down the video, don't even respond back to me because I'm not talking to you anymore. So we just don't respond back to Adam Chester, knowing that I know deep down that this is just Sinet trying to fuck with me. The next day on August 10th, I don't want to live my life in fear anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to block this guy like a little bitch. I'm just going to unblock him and just be free. So Sinet sends me private messages 23 minutes after unblocking him. This guy is checking my Twitter non-stop, every day, every minute to see if I unblocked him. And 23 minutes later, he begins sending me a barrage of messages. He says, I see you unblocked me. Why? Also, FYI, I don't know who Adam Chester is.
This guy's retarded. No wonder the government came and fucking clapped your ass, you dumb bitch. You just outed yourself. Yeah, by the way, I have no idea who Adam Chester is. I swear to God, I'm not stalking your account. I swear, I have no idea who this Adam Chester guy is. I don't know. I swear to you. Even though I've tweeted about him. I have no idea who this guy is. At all. But can you take the video down again? I love this. I love how stupid this guy is. I love it. Sinet's a fucking dumbass.
How would you know? No one can see the video. How would you know who Adam Chester is? Oh, because you are him. Then he says, however, I did have the one on archive removed personally. I don't lie, and I say things for what they are. Now, this didn't make sense for a long time, until yesterday. Now, when the video was taken down from YouTube, one of my amazing subscribers took my video, and they re-uploaded it on the archive.org for others to watch, because you couldn't watch the original on YouTube. So that video, I checked it recently, and it was gone for a DMCA copyright strike claim. And Sinet, in this message, is telling me that he removed it. So he removed the archive.org one, but he had nothing to do with my YouTube channel one. Fucking sure, bro. And then he continues to say, with all honesty, Adam Chester could be one of Nathan or Anthony's friends. No offense, but that video was a bit hurtful. So I don't respond to Sinet's message. And then at 3:18 a.m., you know, Sinet's normal operating time, he sends me 2 more private messages on Twitter.
Oh my God, these are not like small private messages. These are fucking paragraphs. This man is deranged. Jesus Christ. Okay, people are demanding chef. We'll take a chef break. Chef, come here. Come here. You just gonna lay there? There you go. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, chef. Oh, God. I have to get your claws clipped. Yikes. Okay, you good? No? There he is. Hello. There we are. See? He's right here. He was taking a nap.
even hinted and said this was old news, and I wanted it dead. So you have control over the story being alive or dead? This man just continues to message me and tells me that he wanted it dead and he wanted it killed. And then Sinette begins to message me a sob story about how hurtful my video was and how I triggered his
Who
PTSD.
cares?
So
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares it triggered your PTSD, bro? You broke the law. You're a criminal. Imagine getting upset at somebody making a video about you and saying, you triggered my PTSD after I was arrested for breaking into the U.S. government. Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you for a goddamn second. I hope it triggers your PTSD. I hope you hear goddamn shells like you're in the Afghan war or some shit going on. Just blowing shit up all over the place. I hope you can't sleep at night. I hope you're reminded of all the dumb shit that you did. I hope that your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, they, them, whatever the fuck you're with, looks at you in the night while you're sweating bullets, and they're just like, what's wrong, honey? What's wrong? And you're crying your eyes out. I hope, bitch.
bad, and that the EMTs had to inject
Lol.
Ativan. So because my video gave you PTSD, you could copyright strike it. So keep in mind, the story that I told about Sinette has been told thousands of times online. So why is my video in particular so hurtful to him that causes PTSD? And you know what's crazy to think is that all this stems because I asked him for an interview. If I never asked him for that, this probably would have never happened. So now at this point, with him sending me all these messages and continuing to just harass me, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's capable of. So I hire a private investigator to do a full, comprehensive background check on Sinette. Because I wanted to find out, could I file a restraining order against them? Could I file a cease and desist? Could I file a fake DMCA lawsuit against them? Does Sinette have any gun permits? Had he committed any violent crimes? And where does he live? Because I don't know what this guy is capable of. So the private investigator sends me a report that is 160 pages long about everything in his life. That Sinette,
of course, the harassment of copyright abuse is
old.
just wrong. I'm just cynical from the time internet. Any the other side of the story before making up my mind. The thing is, the video, if you were watching earlier, someone, it was a fun video talking about a major crime that happened. This dude pleaded publicly that he hacked the U.S. government. That is all public record. Literal public record. And all he did was ask the guy for an interview. And he said, I just want to put it past me. Okay, cool. That is what started this off. And the guy said no. Vince didn't say he wasn't going to do the he wasn't going to do the video. He didn't say, oh, I'm just going to cancel the project because you want to move past it. Why the fuck should he? It's all public record. It could be reported on. So why in the hell does this guy get to start copyright striking someone's channel under a false name, false email, 5 times? The situation escalated based on the idea that the guy just didn't want the story to be told again, even though it's been told 100 times. That's it. Too bad, bitch. You're the one who committed the crimes. I don't really feel sorry for this guy.
Has no job. He lived at his mom's house, and he just moved into his uncle's apartment that he lives in for free, and that he tried to commit suicide the year before. Now, normally, I wouldn't bring that up, but we're talking about Sinette having nothing left to lose and all of the time in the world to just fucking harass me. Now, because my legal name was given to Adam Chester, who is Sinette, a hacker who pled guilty into hacking into the U.S. fucking government, begins harassing my fiance. Sinette had found my fiance's phone number and began texting her, pretending to be fucking me. Now, because I had Sinette's full background check at this point, I am freaking the fuck out. And I know exactly where he lives. I knew that the area code of this random number that texts my fiance, well, it's the same area code that Sinette lives at. What are the odds? Now, let me just give you some facts. My fiance is a school teacher. We've been together for 10 years. She has never had random numbers message her like this. So to have this happen...
Doesn't that sound kind of familiar? Why is the audio out of sync? It's just the way he recorded it. It's the way he recorded it, and we're at 1.5 for my autism. But doesn't that sound familiar, chat? Doesn't that, like, sound like someone we've talked about on this channel before? Doesn't that kind of sound like someone? Doesn't that sound like someone? Bald. A God-fearing Christian. A man who hit his wife. Or hurt his wife. Not hit. Hurt his wife. Come on. It sounds a lot like someone we've covered on this channel pretty goddamn extensively. Why do you think I don't feel sorry for this guy? I don't feel sorry for a fucking second. The minute you bring in people's loved ones into internet beef, come on, bro.
The blue. While Sinet's been harassing
Steven Crowder isn't bald. We're not talking about Steven Crowder.
Now, at this point, I knew that Sinet was stalking me. It was straight up stalking me.
A Christian straight man, the vegan himself. How could I be homophobic if I'm vegan? The greatest line ever said in human history. How could I be homophobic if I'm vegan? I still look back on that as the funniest thing I've ever heard. I still have it downloaded, and once in a while when I need a laugh, I just put that on, that one part, and I just crack myself up. It is the funniest thing on planet Earth. Once in a while, just to remind myself how I ended up doing YouTube as like a full-time thing, I remind myself of the man, the myth, the legend, and the funniest thing I've ever heard on the internet. That's still the funniest thing I've ever heard. How can I be homophobic if I'm vegan? Because all gay people own vegan restaurants.
Fuck this guy. So, me and my fiance.
I'm not laughing at you, Vince. I'm just laughing at that because it reminds me of a psychopath that I've covered before. And I feel bad for Vince. I feel horrible for Vince's wife. Ninjician's wife went through the same fucking thing. The same thing. I'll even pull up something that happened. Let's see here. Just to prove it to you. Just to prove it to you. Right here. Just to prove it to you. Right here. Listen carefully. Your boy does a cameo in a June the King video. I don't know why June didn't show the stream, but that's okay. I'm just glad he put this in.
YouTube.
It's not so much the copyright strike. It was the back and forth in the email chain with YouTube because you get to see everything.
Right.
And he victimizes himself in the copyright
Kind of
claims.
sounds familiar. Kind of sounds familiar to a certain someone we're making fun of here.
He was stating, you know, this guy is harassing my family. He's going after my mentally disabled brother. Like all this stuff that I had no clue about.
What the
And
fuck?
I guess he doesn't realize that the person that receives the copyright claim sees everything.
As is typical with manipulative and narcissistic individuals, their personal stances matter very little. Being correct, being on.
Oh wait, hold on.
A week, I was getting calls from my actual girlfriend, and I would get them every 30 seconds. And her phone, she wasn't calling me. It was a spoof number to the point where it was just keeping my phone locked up, so I wasn't able to take calls for like calibrations.
Right.
So I ended up having to block these phone numbers just so my phone would be untied.
Now you see why I don't feel sorry for this Sinet guy. It's almost like I've covered a story very close to it.
Move out of our home. We move the fuck out. Because I don't know that this guy that fucking hacked into the government, what the fuck is he gonna do? Because YouTube forced me to give my fucking name to him. This is what's going on in my life. And just keep in mind, this all stemmed from me asking for an interview. Now, days later, on August 21st, my video that was copyright strike goes back up. And while my video was put back online, it was reset in the algorithm, basically just hurting me financially at this point. And while I did feel happy the video was back up, I knew in the back of my head that Sinet was going to copyright strike another video. Would it be the same one? Would it be a different one? I kept checking my YouTube studio every 30 minutes. I literally could not sleep. I just knew Sinet was going to get enraged and just copyright strike.
How are you shocked, Jax?
Trying to get me to...
How are you shocked? That interview with Digician made it to Willie Mack's show, made it to June the King, made it to other channels. Dude, I still look back. I wish, okay, if I had like one regret for the interview with Ninjician, it's that I wanted him to talk. I wanted him to give his side of the story, right? I didn't want to interrupt him. I wish me and Gara were more proactive in that conversation, and kind of like put things a little more forward and gave more examples, because I know June only does like that short section, right? But Ninjician was on such a roll with all the information that ended up being true later that I just feel like if I did it again, I would be more engaged. Not just like letting him talk, more engaged in trying to get to the core of it, which we did get to the core eventually, but it should have been right there. That's kind of how I would look at it.
Fucking delete that video. And that's exactly what happened. So, just a couple days later, I get another strike on one of my biggest videos of all time. And the copyright holder, the claimant in this one, was Jake Turner. Now, Jake Turner didn't have a Google account either. He had, once again, a Proton Mail account. JakeTurner91@protonmail.com. Now, let me be clear. Proton Mail is super niche. No one
That's why I said
so
if I could do it again. I know I was new. That's why I said if I could do it again.
That both have copyright claims against all of my videos happen to also have the same super niche hacker email service. What are the odds of that? So I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what? He wants to play this game. Let's do it. So now it's not Adam Chester. No, it is Jake Turner now fucking with me. Now, I'm on the phone with the attorney the next day, and I'm about to prepare a cease and desist against the net because I don't know what else to fucking do. I've tried going through YouTube. I've tried doing all this shit, and just nothing's getting done. And then I get another strike on one of my biggest videos of all time. And I'm like devastated at this point. I'm like, I have 2 strikes on 2 videos. If I get one more of these from this fucking piece of shit filth, my channel's done. So I'm like freaking out. I don't know what to do. I call the attorney again. And then I get a 3rd strike on my channel. Everything that I've built over the past 3 years is about to be gone in 90 days now. All because a 37-year-old piece of shit, low-life loser who has nothing better to fucking do just wants it down and doesn't have to prove anything about it. I was so
now you see
mad
why the title is what it is. YouTube let down this creator. They let it down. They let him down so severely that his channel was threatening of getting destroyed. The first time he presented the evidence, YouTube said you just have to deal with it and just go through the process. Didn't do anything to work with him. He had to get a lawyer involved, a cybersecurity firm involved, a PI involved, all to handle it himself, while YouTube's tools were used in a way that was to destroy his livelihood. Not because it was a copyright dispute in the sense of, like, let's say Quantum's like, I don't like reaction channels, so I'm going to strike you. No. This is a level above that, where someone is filing actual fake DMCAs with fake fucking names, fake fucking emails, and YouTube does nothing. That's where my frustration lies. That somebody can just make a fake name and start striking you for no reason, just because they have one issue with you. That's why I made the title what it is.
3rd strike that I fucking threw my phone at the fucking wall. I was so fucking mad. I've been dealing with this for over a month and a half. You know, YouTube's consistently told me just file the counterclaim. Wait 10 days. But the problem is when my next video goes up, it's going to be copyright struck like that, and the video's gone. And then I got to wait 10 days, and then it restarts in the algorithm, and then now it's fucking with my money. Like, Sinet, if you want to continue doing this, oh boy, you do not fucking know what is coming after you. I've already filed a fucking FBI report against your ass. I've already hired a private investigator to find out where you fucking live. I've already hired a cyber litigation stalking fucking firm to protect myself against your creepy ass. And a copyright attorney unless you want to pull any shiesty shit like that. Do not fuck with me. I will fuck with you so much harder than you ever could fucking dream. You thought the bar of soap in the prison was bad? Oh, fuck. You know the fuck's coming for your ass. And I told you to stop multiple times, and you continue to do this. And I tried handling this privately. But just like a big fucking cockroach, sometimes you gotta pull back the curtain and shine the light on it to get it to scatter up with the wall. Now, what's the craziest thing about this is, like, I am so thankful to be in a position where I could afford to get help like this. You know, to pay for a private investigator, pay for the attorneys. I literally couldn't imagine if I wasn't in that situation what to do. You know, the thing I love to do the most is, like, I've had a lot of jobs in my life. I've done a lot of things. And YouTube videos are, like, it's like the greatest thing ever. You know, absolutely love it. I love making the videos. I love putting in all the work, the writing, the animating. I love it. I would never, ever change it. And what's upsetting to me...
Like, it's a shame that this guy has to deal with this shit. He puts in more effort than most channels ever would. And he's getting screwed. Like, he's getting legitimately screwed by one asshole. One asshole. That just doesn't like him for a stupid fucking reason. That's like the most insane shit to me. That YouTube just let this happen the entire time. They did nothing about it.
Is that this situation has taken away my resources and time from making more YouTube videos that I love. It's the one thing I truly love to do. And I can't do that right now because my entire world is consumed by this. If I was to re-upload another video, Sinet would do this again. And he's probably going to do it on this video. So get this video, download it, and re-upload it when he does it. Re-upload it, because he's going to do this. YouTube, I don't know what to do. You've absolutely done nothing to help me out, and it makes it really hard for me to spend hundreds of hours making a video, only to have some loser fuck in his basement with no job, living in his mom's house at 37, just take it down. And it's really demotivating at this point. And I'm at the point where I'm prepared to spend more money to take this guy to court, to get injunctions, to get harassment, restraining orders. I don't care. So, end of the day, I just want to make more videos, and the stalking thing has just absolutely consumed my life. So,
you guys get the point. You guys get the point. My frustration, again, lies with YouTube's lack of accountability when it comes to protecting their creators. They talk all the time, oh, we're here to protect our creators. We're here to protect our creators. We're here to take care of everybody. We're here to care about you. We're going to do better quality of life, better this, better that. They keep talking about doing shit better, but they never do. They make it worse every single time. Or shit like this happens where they don't be proactive to the situation whatsoever. Thank God that his channel wasn't deleted and this was all solved and rectified, because the guy didn't countersue, because he knew he was going to goddamn lose. My issue is that YouTube, again, no agency. They had all the information in front of them and didn't say this is a false DMCA claim. We are going to remove these. I get you're trying to protect your safe harbor, but you're fucking over the people that make you money. You're fucking over the people that care about you, and you're fucking over actually everything. Everything that YouTube was built on. Creating videos so other people could enjoy them. That's it. So make sure you give love to Vince. I understand the situation's been handled, but remember this situation. Every time we get into copyright disputes, every time that somebody acts malicious on YouTube and files these false DMCA claims, it fucks with someone's life. And they need to provide their private information to everybody. And those other people, the ones that file it, don't have to send shit. Okay. I want to say thank you all for watching. Genuinely appreciate it. I know Tom is doing a streamer extravaganza right now, because he has actually been falsely struck by FouseyTube. So that bald bitch that should stay in his fucking mental asylum, copyright struck Turkey Tom. So I'm going to send you guys over to Tom. We're just going to send all of you motherfuckers over to Tom. Let him know that we're there. I know there's over 1,000 people. You probably won't see it, but make sure you guys go over there and check Tom out. I'm going to send you guys over in a minute. Just stick around, and I will redirect you over there. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Shogun, for the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 gifted memberships today, dude. Make sure you re-up those memberships if you want content early, or the fuck around streams where I just put them right in the members only for you guys if you want to rewatch those. Some of them are fun. Some of them are just me fucking around. I want to say thank you for the 10 Shogun, QTV with the 2, Gator with the 4.99, Alpha Russ with the re-up of 7 months, and all the direct donations today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Remember, tomorrow I'm premiering the EDP 445 update video. You know me, I love talking about EDP. If you're a member, you saw it early. If not, boom. There we go. Thank you all for subscribing. If you're brand new, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, how you feel about the Vince situation. Let me send you over to Tom. See you all tomorrow.